Alrighty, welcome back, welcome back. We are in 7 Days to Die today. And if you are tired of using torches and candles to light your base or your house or your cave or whatever, you've come to the right place, because what we're going to do today is we are going to go over the very basics of the electricity mechanic in the game. This is a very introductory video on just the very, very basics of getting started. The mechanics in the game are very intuitive, so I guarantee if you start playing around with it in 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, you're going to be fully up to speed and doing all kind of crazy stuff. So, what do we need? We need a tool. We don't need that. We need a tool. There it is. We need a wiring tool. And you find these in the world. When I first started playing the game, I didn't even know what it was for, and I was scrapping them. I mean, that's how many I found. This takes forged steel to craft if you want to craft one. If you don't have forged steel, you can find it. Usually a good place to look is ATM machines. What are you going to do, boy? Just going to chill, huh? Better not swoop down on me. All right. So forged steel. To make the wiring tool, ATM machines is a good place to look. But you're more likely than not to find one of these things in part of a loot. All right, so this tool is a requirement to do all your wiring that you're going to do. So the other component is, of course, a generator. You have to have a source of power. And there's three components to a generator. There's the generator itself, the engines that go in the generator, and then, of course, gasoline. All the components needed to make a fully functioning generator you can get by scrapping cars. To craft a generator, it's forged iron, and then mechanical parts and electrical parts. So you can get all that stuff. That's easy. That's nothing that rare, to be honest. So you've crafted your generator. And then engines, well, you get that from scrapping cars too. Same with the gasoline. So you're set. If we open one of these up, we see a lot of stuff. We see 6 slots for engines. Every engine is the same. It's not like batteries where they have different grades. One's better than another one. Engines are all the same. They each produce 50 watts. So if you have a generator with one engine in it, you can have up to 50 watts of stuff powered by that generator. If you have a generator with 6 engines in it, you have up to 300 watts of stuff that you can hook up to your generator. Pretty straightforward. Of course, the more engines that you have, the faster your fuel is going to go down. And it depends on the load that you have. If you have a lot of stuff connected to your generator, it's going to use more fuel. So let's get some power going. So we're going to turn this on. And we want to connect a light. So you have your wiring tool, and you want to start at the source of the power. And you always want to wire in the direction of the flow of electricity. And you can't mess this up, because if I try to wire the light to the generator starting at the light, it's not going to let me do it. See, it's going to give me an error. Okay. So you're not going to forget, and you're not going to make a mistake, because the game will remind you. So you have two buttons on your mouse. Let's do a right click, and that connects the wire. And a right click to connect it to the light. And then we have light. To snip a wire or to disconnect a component, it's a left click. Now that light is disconnected. So we want to connect it to the generator and then connect it to the light. And you can see when you're holding the wire tool, you can see the flow of electricity and the direction of the flow. If I change and just do the hand, you still see the wire. It doesn't have collision, so I can just walk right through the wire, but you do see the wire. Now, as I understand it, in Alpha 21, when they do the update, when you don't have the wire tool in your hand, you won't even see the wire, but that's just what I hear. And I'll tell you later why that's important. But for now, when you don't have the wire tool in your hand, you still see the wire. So that's the basics. Now you got light. So, I mean, that's how easy it is. Craft your generator, get your engine, throw it in there, and with some gasoline, and you can have lights. But you don't necessarily need to power just lights. You can do pressure plates. You can have kind of an alarm system by hooking up pressure plates and a siren. Let's check this out. So I'm just going to come from this light bulb to this pressure plate. And the pressure plate to the siren. Now when I step on it, it goes off. Now if I wanted lights to go off when I step on the pressure plate, I can either go from the pressure plate directly to the light, or I can go from the siren to the light. Now that one goes off. Now I'll do this one. Now again, I always go in the flow of the electricity, so start with that and then connect your accessory. Now we got lights. And we'll disconnect. And that's it. I mean, in a nutshell, that's it. Once you do that the first time, you'll have it down. Now, what if I wanted to light this light? Should be the same thing, right? Let's check it out. So I'm going to turn this generator on. And I'm going to start my wire. Now you can see the wire is red. And if I continue out, the wire snipped. Now that was automatic. The game did that because the wire is too long. When the wire turns red, you are beyond the limits of that wire. See, it won't let me connect anything. So we're going to use a relay. And a relay, all it does is what it's named. It's a relay. It's a power relay. So we can connect that to there and then continue. You can have as many relays as you need. And there we have light. If I wanted to light up a light bulb on that tree line in the distance, you can do it. You just need a bunch of relays. And what's cool about the relays is, although they can only accept one input, so you can't hook two generators up to one relay. You can have one input only. They can have up to 9 outputs. So if I wanted to light up like that light there, and that light there, and that light there, you can do it. And you can go from relay to relay if you have to. So they're pretty useful. I use them all the time. And next, I'm going to kick this guy on. And we're going to kind of do the same thing. We're going to light that one up. And why that was connected. You can also go from light to light. If you don't want to wire up each individual light from the generator, because you can. I mean, you can go another cord out to this one. And another cord out on this side. But you don't have to. You can take this one and go right to there. And then you can go around to there. And there. To there. Now, if this first one gets broken for some reason, you're going to lose all three, or all four, actually. So, in some cases, you might want individual lines going to at least a relay or a generator. It's up to you. That's it. Pretty easy. Very easy, actually. But now you want a little bit of control over your devices. So you want a switch. And a switch works. If you can use a relay, you can use a switch because it works exactly the same thing. So we're going to kick this guy on. And we're going to right click and power the switch. And then we're going to take the power and go to your device. Now you hit E. Now it's off. Flip the switch. Now it's on. Easy, 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 easy. You can do multiple items, multiple switches. It's all pretty basic. So at the beginning I mentioned that you can still see the wires when you're not holding your wire tool. And you may not want that all the time. I know I don't. I don't want wires crisscrossing a room that I'm in. It just looks like garbage. So that's where the relays come in. And let me show you what I'm talking about. Say you want to light up this light, but this is your hypothetical room and you don't want a bunch of wires crisscrossing it. Just use relays. You can make it as complicated as you want, or as zigzaggy as you want. You can just serpentine right around any obstacle that you don't want a wire visible. So we can go from there to there. We can go down here. And from this one, we can go around the corner. And then finally to the light, and we got power. And if I threw a switch in here, or here, or here, anywhere, you've got controllable light. And that's pretty much it. That's the basics in a nutshell. And what I would recommend is if you're leery in the slightest about doing any of this stuff, just throw a generator down in wherever and just kind of play around with it, and then kind of incorporate it into your base. Because you can do a lot of crazy stuff with this. I mean, there's so many options that you have available to you, not just lights. You can do, like we did the siren with the pressure plates. You have dart boxes that require power. You also have power hatches and power doors that are the strongest in the game. And that's why some of you might want to use those doors, because the strength is 21,000 as opposed to just 10,000 for a steel door. So there's a lot more options you can do. So we're going to take a quick just a quick tour of some of the things that you can do with electricity. So this is an entrance to my base. If you can see, when we approach this, the drawbridge is going to come down because I have a motion detector that's hooked up to a generator, and when it sees me, it lowers the drawbridge, which is also powered. So we'll take a cruise in, and then there's a camera on the wall, so when I'm leaving, it does the same, it functions as the same way. We're just going to head in here. It's kind of low. So this is the base, and as you can see, I have electric light which stays on, and a switch here to open up the main door, which lets me into the work area, and again, it's all lit up. When I go into the main living area, we can get light on here too, or in here too. I think I got one of them off. If I want to go down this hallway, that's got a power door as well. We can also light up this area. And the kitchen. So although you don't have a lot of variety of lights, I think there's 3 or 4 that you can use. There's the fluorescent like that one up there, or the light bulbs like we used outside. You know, you just get creative. And that's it. Well, I hope this helped you out a little bit and get you to where you'll use more electric light, and maybe in a future video we'll go over solar power and how to use the battery banks and things like that. But anyways, have fun with it, and you know, enjoy the game. Later.